A very warm welcome and good afternoon to everyone. Would like to start with the topic of the seminar today, and it's called the light of truth. And of course, this topic is not just a topic, but it is something we are going to delve into the depth of it and the simplicity of the truth. And once somebody said to me that the seeker of the truth is complex. So check, are you the seeker of the truth? But when the self knows himself as the truth, it is very simple, because there is never a time when you are not the truth. And so we will take some time and would really appreciate your undivided attention, because this topic is very deep. And if it is just listened to or heard to whilst we are pottering around with other things, then you will actually miss the thread of it. So it would be nice to have your undivided attention. So let's take a moment. One more very important thing wanted to mention, that through this seminar, we will see how God sees the drama, and also the drama within the drama, which is the inner drama. And for that, it would be very important for us to see and, in fact, even hear the words directly from the Supreme Himself. And we have taken some excerpts from it today to share with you so that you can hear straight from God's mouth. And these are His words that He has spoken through the body of Brahma. And as we go through the seminar, we will see how this all unfolds. But He is the ocean of truth. And in His company, we will learn about our own truth, because He wakes up all the souls to their truth. So we'll start with the words directly from the Supreme. And this is what we call a daily study called Murli. And Murli is, you can think of it as Murlidhar, the one who's the ocean of truth. He's the Murlidhar. And he sings this and he plays this flute of knowledge for his gopikas. And his gopikas are the tiny points of light. It's not Rini, it's not Jerry, it's not Mary. It is these tiny points of light who are the gopikas. So in one of the Murlis, we call him Baba with a lot of love, which means Father, Supreme Father. And he said, your truth is like an alchemist's stone. Just as touchstone is able to turn iron into gold, in the same way, the power of truth makes souls, matter, time, and all material things, all relations, all sanskars, diet, and interaction with others, Satopradhan, and age of truth is established. So when the Supreme Alchemist is the Supreme Father Himself. And when we the souls spend time in the company of the Supreme Father, the Alchemist, we too turn into master alchemists. And then with our pure vision, our pure vibrations, the souls, and with the Father, Supreme Father, have the power to change matter into pure matter, time into timeless truth, that is of the soul, And from that timeless truth, the soul turns this world of time into a very beautiful, paradisiacal, a very pure time on earth. And all the material things, all the relationships, all the sanskaras, everything changes as the vibrations of truth just pervade the whole atmosphere. And that is what Baba says, truth is like an alchemist's stone. But for that, it's very important to know one thing, that nothing matters very much and few things matter at all. And we will see how that really helps us stay in our awareness of our truth. Because this, if it is imbibed, then we will see how beautifully we can actually stay with our truth. So nothing matters very much and few things matter at all. Sorry. So as we see in this entire universe, as we see here, it includes galaxies, it includes black holes. The only conscious entity is the Atma, the soul with the halo of light. Entire universe, material world is there for the souls. Souls are naturally masters of not only just this earth, but of the entire universe, are naturally the masters. They are masters in every way, but only factor that is required for them to experience their being a master is that they need to be not asleep, but conscious. Naturally, souls are magicians when they are awake. And if truly steps are taken accurately, what will happen is that the fragrance of that spiritual magic, it can really be felt. That fragrance will release when the soul awakens. Would like to ask a question, and if you could be prompt with your answers would be much appreciated. So what does one need to see the magic of light of truth? What is that one thing that one needs to see the magic of light of truth? Anybody? Awareness? Awareness? Any other answers? Drishti? I think that's what you're trying to say. Clarity? Atma? Belief? Understanding? Okay. Yes, the very first thing that we really need to see the magic of light of truth is Paras. Why do we need Paras? Because the starting position of the world, of the souls today, is they are not even conscious today. Souls are asleep today. Ego is conscious today. And the highest intellect, that is the Paras, it really helps the soul overcome any confusion created in the ego mind, which presents itself. We will see how it presents itself, but today the ego mind has eclipsed the soul. So the solution is to experience the true self as that unmixed self. And we will see how that confusion presents itself. That the souls today, they cannot even see the story as a story. Souls don't even know who they are today. This is, you can call the life in this drama, or a cardboard box, likes to see it that way. It's a cardboard box. and it appears very, very important. But as soon as we wear the Paris glasses, we can see this cardboard box is irrelevant and a very peripheral story. As we saw in the beginning, nothing matters much at all. And we will see how that helps. Once you understand this story as a story, it is extremely empowering and it shrinks all the 10 heads of Ravan. It reduces the hype of the story and all these different heads. Why are they appearing so big today? Because the story is seen as reality. And as long as the story is seen as reality, the Ravan's heads will be all big and alive. But with accurate understanding, this reality will become big. This real world and real beings will feel like one family. And it's like a stars, living stars in the sky. They have a mind that does not know greed, that does not know anger. This is the nature of the mind of these souls. And these souls are who? That is actually us. But we have forgotten, and the Ravan's heads have become big, and the reality of that pure mind is forgotten. So these invisible stars, they actually know the world beyond. They know their home, their true peace. But what happens is, in the environment of knowledge, it favors the soul because then the bigger map is clear. But in the ignorance, the darkness of ignorance, the drama looks like worth a lot. And that is when the complaints, the concerns, the comparison, the criticism, the questions, the cravings, everything comes into our awareness. Because suddenly, drama, which was not worth a penny, has now suddenly become worth a lot. And that is why all these C's come in front of us. But the first Ras, that is the first truth to be able to understand is, before we thought this is the real life, everything is here, there's nothing else, one world, and this is the only existence. If everything is comfortable here, then my life is good. So I needed God to make my life comfortable here. Then everything will be good. And I thought that is how God is supposed to help me make my life comfortable here. But that is actually what happens is when God comes, He says, it's completely, this is not your reality. It is just a film that is being acted out. It's not a metaphor. It's not a metaphorical thing that this is a film and this is your real world, and then we live here like as though this is the real world, and then we go here for some bit of meditation. This is not, the souls live here and they observe the film from up above. So until this film is seen as a film, there will always be these invisible strings of attachment, keeping soul completely trapped in bondage of the drama. Only truth can release the soul, and we will see how God sees the world drama. In His words, He said, "This is a play, that which has passed, that reel continues to turn. Just as when a film is shown, that same film is repeated again identically after 2 or 3 hours." This is how God is seeing this whole world theater. Buildings, etc., collapse in the film. He's very neutral about buildings collapsing, about war happening, everything. He's very neutral because he sees it as a film. In the film, and later you see those same buildings being shown again. Now we can see perspective of God. He's saying the buildings will collapse, the war will happen, and then the whole scene will, the whole film will start all over again. It's like an autoplay. It will replay again. That is the way he's seeing this whole film of this world drama. That also repeats identically. There is no need to be confused about this. If the soul is not seeing this world drama as God sees, then it is bound to the life of a bhogi, bondage, and suffering, because he is bound to indulge in the sense pleasures if he's not seeing this as a film, and he will start thinking of himself as that mask or the character. Another beautiful excerpt wanted to use, really wanted to share that with you all, how God talks to the souls about how he sees this film. And let's see if we do have the same perspective as he does, the souls behind our masks. Can we see that we have the same perspective as God? He said, look, this drama enables every living being, human and animal, to play their parts perfectly. Even though someone may be wrong, he plays that part of being wrong perfectly. How can God see that and say that? Why? Because he's seeing that the souls who are behind these parts are all innocent beings of light. They are just coming here in the theater. They have been given particular parts to play and costumes to wear, and they have to play their parts accordingly, according to the script of the drama. This is also fixed in the drama. When both wrong and right are fixed in the plan, then to have doubts about anything is not knowledge, because each actor is playing his own part. If you have a single doubt about anybody's part or script, then you're not a knowledgeable soul, according to him. In a film, all the different named actors do their own acting. And when you see them after the film is over, it is not that you would dislike some or be happy with others. It is not like that. You know that that is just a film in which each one has received his or her own good or bad part. Imbibe his vision as the vision of the self as a soul. Each one has received his her or own good or bad part. It does not define the soul. Part does not define the soul. In the same way, you also have to continue to watch this eternally created film as a detached observer in a constant, cheerful stage. Now, who can watch the film with all its drama with constant, cheerful stage? Rini is part of that film. Can the soul be constantly happy if there are ups and downs, highs and lows in Rini's life? Because Rini is a puppet in the drama. Rini is also part of the, as a character in this film. The real actor is the soul. If the soul is completely detached from Rini, then the soul can truly be constant and cheerful in its stage as a detached observer, because it's a film. Nothing is real about this character or anything that comes or belongs to this character. So, which secret truth of drama is most essential to see it as a film? Any answers? Which secret truth of the drama is most essential to see it as a film? Would anybody like to attempt? Detached observer. Which secret truth of drama, not of the self, of drama, is most essential? Yes, it is predestined. Anything else? Yes, it repeats itself. Mhm. Facing the reality. Okay. The secret truth of drama that is most essential to see it as a film is that the secret supreme director tells us that this film is neutral. It's completely neutral. So we'll give an example. Let's say in a limited way first. So let's say you spend 4 to 7 hours preparing food and someone comes. And by mistake or intentionally, last minute, they knock over all the food and then they insult you because they got hurt because they knocked over the food and then they blame you. Yeah? Outside everyone else in the party or in the big group of people, everyone else is watching and waiting for it and they're all hungry. Will that disturb you? Even slight bit? Will that disturb you? You have to be very honest here. Yes, very good. Yes, 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 yes. Good. Okay. Yes. Somebody asked the question, what does Paras means? Paras means it is a golden intellect, the third eye. Paras is basically, there are two types of intellect, stone intellect and Paras intellect. Stone intellect can only know this world as the only world. Paras intellect can see the whole bigger map, in which it can also see it actually lives in the supreme region, and then it sees the world below as just a theater. So with the Paras intellect, which is the golden intellect, everything is very clear and it has God's clarity, it has God's vision with Paras intellect. Hope that answers the question. Yes, will make me angry even though I should have taken deep breath. Good, very good. So even everyone else is watching and waiting for it. And let's see what happens next. As we asked, is it easy to love and not be disturbed at all? And let us start again happily. Will it be like that or will one be a little disturbed? So we know that the soul is an angel and it remains an angel in all situations. How will we achieve this standard? We will see that. So if disturbed, what was not understood? What truth can help you be beyond in peace, contentment, love, under provocation? What truth can help you? What has not been understood and what truth can help you? Be content, be loving under provocation. Any answers? It is a drama, repeats, power to tolerate. Yeah. Detachment. Everyone is playing their role perfectly. Everything is as it should be and is beneficial. Yeah. Now we'll see how do we make it practical. Now we'll take another scenario. Okay. Now let's say you are in a limited way first. You are acting in a film and you're given a job to work in a kitchen. And it's a James Bond film. You're getting paid for it. Now you're dressed like a kitchen helper. You are cutting and cooking, and it's an amazing role. You're really enjoying it. Now James Bond comes and he throws the food on the floor, he kicks it, he jumps out of the window, and he goes to his Casino Royale. So, he's getting paid for his part, you're getting paid for your part. Everyone is happy, director is happy. Will you be disturbed that you spent 5 hours in the kitchen cooking and he kicked it all at this point? Will you be disturbed? No. Very good. You won't be disturbed. No. And we are not being disturbed. No. Very good. Now we are not disturbed. Why? Because the reason is you understand that it's a film and you're prepared for the unexpected, and you know that everyone is good and okay, just playing their parts. It's the same spiritual message. If this is a film, this world drama is a film. It's no different than a James Bond film. No different at all. Just there are many James Bonds and Casino Royales, and there are also Jokers and other characters in the film. And you, the soul, has to be just awake to know that you are dealing with fiction. Even this class or the seminar that is happening, it's part of the fixed film. It's a fiction. If internet goes out, or if somebody just walks in, or if wall falls on the head, it's all part of the film. Nothing has gone wrong. This is exactly how it was supposed to be. But that fact that it's just a film has to be not only understood as a point of knowledge, but to really be lived. Because the invisible actor is the real being whose home, whose truth, whose world, whose reality, whose real family of stars is forever safe. Doesn't matter what happens to the character, James Bond or Rennie in the film, it doesn't matter. Rennie is also part of the fiction. So it's gets blamed, it gets insulted. Does it matter to the invisible actor? If Rennie gets blamed, when Rennie gets insulted, but the invisible actor knows that he's the real actor and Rennie's part of the character of the film, will that actually even touch the soul? Will it touch the soul when it knows Rennie is the character in the film, not the reality, not the truth? The true self is the invisible actor. Yeah, no, it won't. Because now, very good. Now, because the soul knows I am the real actor, they are insulting and blaming Rini. That does not mean that they're insulting me. Nobody can touch me. I am forever embodiment of peace and love. The real self is forever beyond any insults, beyond any praise. Yes, Rini can be insulted, Rini can be blamed, things can go very much according to the drama, which can be perceived by ego as wrong, but that means nothing to the soul. We'll see. We see there's a fight happening, everybody's hungry, but first vision that the soul behind this doll will have, they may be hungry, they may be fighting, everything could be happening in front of the eyes. But first, no, everyone is safe, all the invisible actors are safe and innately angelic. Compassion will be there not only for the one who's getting kicked, but also for the one who is kicking. This is authentic compassion. This is authentic understanding. Why? Because they both are playing their wonderful parts. That is the first step that has to be taken. So, not for 1 second, now you see this as a film in a theater. Not for 1 second, actor will feel anger towards all these audience. Will they feel anger towards actors, and will they feel anger towards each other? No, because they know they're acting in a film. He knows that this is his part and this is his part. He will respond with inner smile there is, and that he did good action, and all of us will be applauding for that action. So the moment we understand it, then we can put it not just as a concept, but it becomes our practice to live this reality, that this whole thing is just a film. In front of the eyes, what is happening is part of the film. Behind the eyes is the truth and the reality. Somebody asked this question. In a movie, it's all good, but in reality, it will cost me. What is the impurity here? What is the impurity in their vision here? They're saying in a movie it's all good, but in reality it will cost me if the food is spoiled and knocked over and things like that. It will cost me. So of course I'm going to get angry. What is the impurity here? Any answers? Personal attachment, ego, lack of faith, duality. I started thinking I am this body. Very good. The impurity here is that there is massive confusion going on here. And the confusion is forgotten that the real self is the real actor, not from this world, from the world beyond. And this Rini, the body, is just a character. The real home is the home beyond. This world stage is not my home. The real relationships of the soul is with the Supreme Father, the Supreme Parent, the Alchemist, the Supreme Alchemist, and with all the other souls of the world, not with the body to body relationships. This is why we need the Paras intellect, the golden intellect, to have this impurity and confusion removed. Because from soul's perspective, it cost him nothing. We are seeing everything from soul's perspective. He is like the invisible actor who's watching this, and actually, he did not bring anything with him, and so he doesn't lose anything. The food gets knocked, the house gets burned, the car gets lost, means nothing to him. Why? Because he is absolutely, his treasures are always imperishable. He never owned anything here. They are merely props. Everything else is just for the story material. Dollars, body, roles, and some script are all for the story material, and it will all be taken back by nature. So, the perspective of the soul is that he has no relatives in this world, in this physical world. All his relatives are in the sky, beyond the sky. And that familiarity that he has created with all these physical bodies and relationships here, and the things that it thinks it owns because it owns its own body in this Patthar intellect. And that is the reason that there is so much suffering and misery. So, how are the scenes happening and who is watching the film? That Smriti will decide how the film is watched. This is a beautiful film. Earthquakes are happening, buildings are falling, Rini's house gets burned, all beautiful part of the film. And it's all beautiful film. But what happens is, if the soul is identified with character in the film, then it would, what would it feel like? It would feel like a victim. They always throw things at me. Why me only? Look how bad people have become these days. It's like doing such nasty things to me. This chant of ego will go on and on and on because it has forgotten itself and it's forgotten it's a film. And true self is outside of the film. The soul can never be victimized. If it's awake, it will know that. If seeing a film as reality and character as self and truth is forgotten, then beggar mindset will also take over. Something to complain about in the drama, something to feel miserable about in the drama. There will always be an excuse to feel like a beggar when the soul is asleep. But the angel who's observing the film, everything is entertaining and is busy with other angelic beings. When you have imbibed the knowledge, this truth, that this truth of this drama is, it is a film, then the perspective of the angel is not only seen but lived and it is experienced. That the soul is lucky forever. Doesn't matter Rini's house gets burned, the soul is extremely fortunate. If only something is slightly different, then maybe I can feel better about the drama. maybe slightly different here, slightly different there. Somebody else was slightly better, then I would be happier. This is all the perspective of the character, not the soul. Things are perfect because nothing matters in the story, as Baba said. The buildings can fall and they will come back up the next cycle. Nothing matters. In the world beyond, no one can change it. But film's perspective is only the perspective of the invisible actor, not the perspective of Rini. We would do a little bit of a game here. Wanted to see how keen sighted the invisible actors are on the other side. So we'll play some video, and you have to we would check how keen sighted you are as to what do you see on the slide. What's up, guys? Sorry. Adword comes. So, what did you catch in that slide? Any answers? Film recording. Any other answers? It felt like watching a film. Good. Others? Blessing pouring. Very good. Music. Yes. So we saw that video was very small. Yeah? And our entire attention is caught into that video. We did not catch hold of the true reality up above. Although one person did say blessings pouring. That is what, if the whole drama is playing out, we get so sucked into the drama. Our entire attention is into the drama. The soul completely forgets a world beyond. How many of us caught that truth of the Supreme Father up above, observing the film? We were totally caught up in that little tiny box of the film. And that is what is happening today, that we are so caught up with the movements in the film, with the sounds in the film, with the variety of scenes in the film, scene after scene after scene. that the soul completely forgets to catch its own truth, its own reality. And and that is why it's very important to kind of sorry. So this was the truth of the outer world. How to see the truth of the outer world by being in the home with the supreme parent. Watch that little tiny box down below. Don't get caught up in it so much that you forget to live in your own reality as a soul with the Father and your family of stars. It's a good checking for all of us. You all can check who did not answer, maybe. Where was your mind caught up? It will tell us where is the soul's mind caught up today. So, this is the truth of the outer drama, as we saw. But there is also a drama within the drama called Inner Games of Maya. So, let's play and see how we play this inner game. And it's a game that is happening the whole day, second by second. It's good news that Maya is everywhere and it's tireless. Why? Why is it a good thing that Maya is tireless? It's a game for the whole day, and it's a good thing Maya is tireless. Why? Maya is the evil forces that are there on the side. It's a good thing that it's tireless. Why? Any answers? Looks like it's a more difficult question. It's tireless. I think somebody answered. It's a test. It keeps you on your attention to keep us on our toes. Good. Yeah. Because then invisible actor can score all along. He can score if he wins against Maya. And this is a beautiful Murli that we had recently, how God sees drama within the drama. And would love to read it very slowly so that it can absorb you, the soul can absorb your mind totally into how God sees the inner drama. He said, sometimes Maya comes in the form of lust, and not just physical lust, it can also be the lust of desires for many things, sometimes in the form of anger. Catch it, see it as Maya's game. If you play games of Maya while considering them to be games, your enthusiasm will increase. Underline. If you play games of Maya while considering them to be games, your enthusiasm will increase. But if you see any situation of Maya as an enemy, you will get afraid. In Mickey Mouse cartoons, now we get to know how Baba, the supreme teacher, is seeing the inner games and the outer games. He's seeing it as a Mickey Mouse cartoon show. This whole film is a Mickey Mouse cartoon show. Sometimes a monkey comes, sometimes a cat comes, sometimes a dog comes, and sometimes a mouse. Are you afraid? Would you say if someone get afraid while watching a game? While watching a game, if some think that the ball is coming towards them and that perhaps it may hit them, would they be able to watch the game? So watch the game with happiness and pleasure, even if it comes in the form of a lion. Do not be afraid. Just watch the Mickey Mouse games inside and outside. 1 minute Maya will come, the next minute she will go. As well as that, do not walk away from your elevated stage. And we will see how we put it into practical with examples. It is like that in a game. Something will come, something will go, and something will change. If the scenes did not change, you would not like the play. Maya can also come in any form. Let the scenes continue to change, but do not let your elevated state change. See the games of Maya, even if they come to make you fall, just watch her game. See how she comes to make you fall. Catch, recognize that form, and consider it to be a game. Watch that scene as a detached observer. Learn a lesson from that for the future and make your stage strong and move forward. And for that, of course, we need the constant company of the Supreme Father. So Maya is the one who's omnipresent, not God. Maya is omnipresent. But there is no game without an opponent either. And what happens when Maya comes? It's not outside. The situations are not Maya. Maya is the reaction that the soul creates in response to the situation which is neutral. So if there's a reaction of anger, that is the form of Maya. But if you identify with that Maya as I am angry, then your frequency drops and your connection with the Supreme Father breaks. That is exactly what Maya wants you to identify with the emotion of anger and then break you away and separate you from the Supreme Parent so that now it has all the chips, it will win. So what Baba says when he comes, he says, die alive to Maya. So dying alive to this Rini consciousness means dying alive to Maya. Maya only exists in that little cardboard box, that film. It does not exist outside of the film. So you can be very enthusiastic while playing this game, and we'll see how. Would like to give an example of Brahma Baba, the soul behind Brahma Baba. Brahma Baba was the founder and the founding father of this organization, and he is the example for all of us to follow. Somebody came to him and said, Baba, I am an unhappy woman. So Baba replied, this person came and Baba replied, daughter, the nature of the soul is peace. And the nature of matter, that is this physical body and the personality, is fluctuation. Who said unhappy woman? Are you an unhappy woman or are you this peaceful soul? Stabilize in the peace beyond the body, the peaceful soul. See who you really are. And in one of his personal diaries, he even said that Dada Lekraj has died, which was the name of his body. With whom should he have the new relationship? Only with the one who is the truth. So now the soul behind Brahma Baba, his relationship was only with himself as the soul. And all he saw others was as a soul. He didn't see the characters and he didn't see that he mixed the soul with the character in the story. No, he thought this is matter mind, this is matter, material world, body belongs to the material world, to the nature. And the nature of the body is to fluctuate, the nature of the matter mind is to fluctuate. That is not the truth of the soul. So everything about the role is not the soul. We are not trying to make this person happy, not making the role perfect. So when the soul awakens in that manner, then the soul is following God's law. Brahma Baba, the soul behind Brahma Baba, he did not say, oh, don't be unhappy or try to fix its part. No, his vision was on the soul, not on the Ravan within. His vision was on the soul, the original eternal truth of the soul. Zero identification with the soul's part of unhappiness. He only saw the soul's reality, and this is the temporary fluctuating nature of the person, which is part of the drama. So his dominant smriti, the dharma of the truth, comes into action through the neutral part of the puppet. So he's only seeing the angel, the soul. He's not seeing the unhappy part and trying to fix it. So this position of detachment from ego minds, sadness and sorrow, laughter, because soul's truth at non-physical level is so rich. Soul is changeless. The part may be crying, but the soul is changeless and timeless and doesn't have to go with the movements of the mind. It can't mix itself with the movements of the mind. Master of matter means matter does not matter. Master can be aware of the changing moods. The real I is not in danger ever. He's forever blissful. That is his truth. It will not change because Rini is crying in the story. This is a starting position we call the Shiv Shakti. Would like to give a personal example of the natural degree of separation that takes place when the soul is with Shiva and his Shakti. That happens from the temporary thoughts and beliefs whilst you are anchored in your eternal and original self. So, soul daughter, the soul playing the role of a daughter, she was supposed to come back by 9 p.m. from work, working on internship here. Did not come back till 10:30. Now, the place where the soul works is quite deserted after 9 p.m. So the soul behind mother role was sitting in meditation from 9 o'clock. Then for some time after 9:30, still PM, still meditating, and suddenly there was a storm of thoughts of Maya coming from mother consciousness. So the practice of Sakshi and Sati, it is extremely powerful. Soul was sitting with the father with its paras glasses in its absolute peaceful state. But at the same time, it's like two parallel realities, watching the storm of Maya coming up and assuming things which could be worse than death for the body in a female body. Here, that is the Maya mind kind of creating stories. It's a storyteller, no? The Maya mind is the storyteller, and the real self is storyless. The storyless one is watching the storyteller. Being of light was sitting with the father in his lap, feeling very peaceful and super sensuous happiness. So the soul was feeling super sensuous happiness. And it was so lovely to experience that the soul can be so detached from the Maya mind. It's like a form of a lion, as Baba had said. It will come in the form of a lion, the cat will come, mouse will go. So the Maya mind was creating stories after stories. But the soul in super sensuous bliss in the sky, beyond the sky, that is the real me watching this Maya mind, which is the mother consciousness. At one point, Maya mind even started to create thoughts of knowledge. Oh, the soul is beyond harm and the soul is safe. But the soul who was awake was watching this Rini consciousness that underneath there was lurking a desire for the body to be safe and trying to change the drama in favor of body's safety. That everything is safe, but hope that they are also their body is also safe. But the invisible angel sitting with God, one who is Ichha Matram Avidya, one who is desireless, who has no knowledge of desires, that real me could see all of Maya's tricks and simultaneously seeing the perfection of this Mickey Mouse drama. As Baba said, it's a Mickey Mouse drama. It's a film. Regardless of how it unfolds, it doesn't matter. Now the soul's power is taking over the Mickey Mouse power. And the experience was of immense bliss, and true safety of all souls was experienced. Original thoughts were naturally emerging in God's light, as soul was unmixed with Rini's emotions. It was not mixing and identifying with Rini's emotions. It was completely unmixed and observing Rini's emotions, as though it's watching an inner film of this character called Rini. And then in that state, there was no desire to change the film, no sorrow taken from the assumptive thoughts of the character that what would happen in the film. It's a film, not a reality. That was a natural awareness. Whatever happens in the film is absolutely fantastic. Nothing is ever wrong in the film. And that awareness, the soul was in complete bliss after that. And they could observe and see those feelings merging like the waves on the surface of the ocean. Now the soul was teasing those waves of Maya. And because the soul was in the depth of the ocean with the Father, the Supreme Mother and Father, he was sitting there as a carefree emperor. He could see that that storm was nothing but a storm in a teacup. There was nothing else to the storm, but it was like a storm in a teacup. Maya even at one point asked, to make a call out of fear. Maybe I should make a call. And angel said, no, angels don't act upon fear. And when the wave of any form of Maya storms in inner world comes with a lot of noise, you know that soon it will merge again. You have two choices when the waves of the Maya come. So when waves arise, number one choice in inner world, that is your inner film, in response, drama within the drama, in response to some scene in the outer world. There's a scene and situation in the outer world. Are you confused and attached to some desire in the film? Is there confusion that that is a character in the film? The real being is completely out of danger forever? Is that clarity there, or is that I'm a mother and my daughter? Is the confusion there? Then that desire in the film, then one can get caught up in the wave like this and feel suffering by identifying with that storm instead of being an observer of the inner storm, the Mickey Mouse game. It truly is a Mickey Mouse game. There's no reality in anything that happens in this world drama. Number two option, when the storm of Maya comes in inner world, the invisible observer turns it into a game and surfs waves with innate happiness. Separate from these temporary feelings and emotions, the eternal sense of bliss and joy with the soul sitting and swinging in the lap of the mother. Did not even know when the soul's body went to sleep. The soul was in innate bliss. And it's like the thinking of the egoic mind cannot deceive the soul. It cannot deceive. There was another example when just yesterday or day before, when Rini was in one place appreciated and in one place criticized. And soul is observing both situations as a detached observer and seeing what are the inner games of Maya. It's like a lot of enthusiasm. If you remember, Baba had said, you will feel a lot of enthusiasm on seeing these inner games of Maya. That's a very deep point. Ones who have learned to see inner games of Maya, drama will dissolve for them. So, seeing what was the game of Maya that is going on, then there is no interest in the drama because drama is judicial, harmless, beneficial, and most importantly, neutral. So the soul, who is a detached observer, has no interest in the scenes of the drama, but more interest in being that being who is embodiment of peace. So, can that embodiment of peace see these games of Maya as God sees them? And it truly is very entertaining because one does find that this power that soul experiences, that is where the enthusiasm is coming from. That Maya has no power. The ego games of Maya and the mind has no power over the soul to have any preference. So there's no extra love for the one who appreciated and no less love for the one who did not appreciate or criticize. No less love. The soul is equanimous and feeling exactly the same love for all the souls whilst it's watching the inner games of Reni's mind. It makes no difference who did what because soul is experiencing itself to be that embodiment of love and peace, embodiment of joy. And it knows that these games of Maya as clearly as Baba knows. So God is clear about Maya, but he's also very distant from Maya. And so is the soul. That freedom to be able to love, that is what brings enthusiasm on seeing the games of Maya. That freedom that allows the soul to be able to be loveful and respectful naturally, it will start expressing through this puppet. You don't need to try and make the puppet loving. The soul's innate beauty of peace and love will start expressing through the puppet. And that is why this highest perspective, all souls are godlike and have their own personality, has to be kept alive. And then soul is completely free from emotions because, very important, pay attention, because it has learned to conquer the emotional reactions within the self. So when it comes into action, it is free of those emotions. It's free to express its true self. And that's where one finds that is how soul's ability to love and respect all, regardless of how Rini is treated, is the greatest fortune and the treasure that the soul experiences by keeping God's virtues in front of him as its own virtues. In a beautiful Murli, Baba had asked, by using which method can your intellect continue to make the right decisions in Lokik relationships? Never think about Lokik situations when making a decision. Decide whilst in a powerful alokik stage. Why? Because when you keep things of the past in your awareness, that is past roles also, your intellect is diverted to those. The sanskars of the past then also emerge, and you therefore find it difficult. Completely forget your Lokik attitude. Consider yourself to be a soul and then make a decision, and it will be an accurate decision. This is known as the throne of a conqueror of sinful actions. The alokik soul conscious stage is the throne of the stage of a conqueror of sinful actions. And this is how your decisions will be accurate. Acha? So we saw with two examples when the invisible actor keeps this big picture, the Paras intellect makes this big picture very clear in your awareness. So you do not lose the perspective. His interaction in the story is with the souls. He comes here, he interacts with the souls. So he's emotionally free and he's feeling very right. And then whatever soul does or intervenes with is with more clarity. Otherwise, he's trying to change something from the insecurity of the character consciousness. Not that you are not engaged or you're aloof, but you're coming to the story with a lot more information. And you're helping the souls. You're not here to help the roles. You're here to help the souls. And you're not distracted by subconscious insecurities. In the face of inner drama and outer drama, we see cat comes, dog goes. Why do you go away with her? As Baba had asked her, why do you start thinking you are that Maya? You are not that Maya. Don't put Maya in front of Maya. No, if scenes don't change, you won't get bored? He asked us that. It's good, no? It's a game going on in the inner game. Scenes are constantly changing. Emotions, feelings of the Maya mind is constantly changing. But if the constant truth is awake of the self as that invisible actor who never changes, can observe the changing scenes of the inner drama and the outer drama with complete equanimity. Because he's timeless. Sleeping angels don't know how lovely they are. All the souls are lovely. When you learn to detach from your inner drama, you will be able to detach others from their inner drama and see only the light of truth that exists behind those inner and outer dramas of the others. So sleeping angels don't know how lovely they are, but the invisible angel and the Father knows, together swinging in the swing of each other's love. This love is love of true heart. But as we saw the mother Brahma also, he does his duty. We are elder brothers, the ones who have taken this knowledge, and it is our duty to liberate all with our vision of truth, like Father Brahma. And we see that invisible actor, he has to we have to follow his example. We has to see how did he practically make everything happen. He was seeing all the souls as lucky and lovely through his attitude and vision. His attention was shining light on the truth, and he was not seeing the person or the part in the film. He was, it's like for him it was like the soul is playing an Oscar award winning performance. Such a beautiful performance, looks so real. should be awarded for it. But that is not the truth. The truth is the soul is forever lovely and lucky. It doesn't matter the part is happy or unhappy. His vision was always on the soul. And this is the prerequisite to live in a Alokik dimension, to give them a vision of the angel. We have to not keep it theory, but keep it practical. And you will see that your true self will start to shine through even this lifeless doll. You're not shifting and changing this lifeless doll, but the true self is shining through it. And that is what the thing was, the light of truth, diagnosis, and remedy. This is the entire summary. So it's like the diagnosis is there's confusion because of darkness. The soul doesn't know who it is. The remedy is paras sight, that is the divine intellect, the light of truth. Diagnosis is today we are caught in the web because we don't see it as a film, but we know the independence from the drama of the soul. Soul is independent from the film. It's not the character in the film. It's playing its part, but it's not the part. And soul is unconscious today. We need to make sure that the self is conscious. Enemy, that is Maya, is ruling. But the angel, when it's awake, the enemy becomes unconscious. There's confused intervention. Attention is on the story. We're trying to fix the story, make the story better, more comfortable, make it more happy for the character in the story. And the right intervention is attention is beyond the story, like Father, Mother, Brahma, how he was seeing that soul beyond its part. At this point, let us take a moment of silence. And remember, with the paras sight, there are two parallel realities. One is the supreme reality, the world of truth. Behind the eyes, there's this whole world of silence, land of light, region of love, where the true self, the one whose embodiment of peace, and the one whose embodiment of love resides with the ocean of peace and ocean of love. That is the true self behind the eyes with the family of stars. His thoughts are incorporeal. His feelings are incorporeal. He has nothing to prove. He has nothing to like or dislike. His world is world of light and truth, where all are blessed with the mind free of anger, free of Maya. In front of the eyes, there is a film that's being played out. Rini is just the interface, a lifeless interface for that soul to express its beauty through this interface whilst watching and acting in the film. This film is lifeless. If there are characters feeling sorrow, if Rini is also feeling happiness or joy based on drama, sorrow based on drama, Other characters in the story that it meets feeling sorrow and joy based on drama. The soul is watching it all as a detached observer, companion of the Father. Just like Father is watching the film, he too is watching the film. It is when the film is seen as reality that immense darkness creates suffering and sorrow, and the truth and the reality is forgotten. And the artificial and the fake world is seen as reality. So, keeping this awareness alive, a film is just a film. Don't make it real. And the invisible actor and his world, the supreme reality, his supreme parent, his supreme family of stars, there is a natural exchange of love that they all are made up of, truth that they all are made up of. So let us keep this truth behind the eyes alive whilst interacting with the world in front of the eyes. Om Shanti.